Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock on a Sunday, which means it's time for a review show special. Now, this is where I take a particular deep dive into a particular company or a creator, and I kind of highlight some of the tricks that they have bought out, and sometimes it's the more recent stuff, sometimes it's products that they bought out a little while ago. And today, I'm going to be talking to you about N2G. Now, I've had, for the last 3 years on this channel, a bit of a love-hate relationship with N2G. Sometimes I love them, sometimes I hate them. They've made a name for themselves, creating high-quality coin gimmicks. And they are high quality. And their N series, you know, every couple of months to bring out another N. And we've reviewed, myself and Ryland have reviewed a lot of their stuff. And more recently, they've been bringing out card routines and card gaffs as well. You know, their website has a ton of information on it with loads of new tricks coming all the time. Plus, they wholesale into Murphy's. So, big company, big production company, love-hate relationship because as good as they are and as good as a lot of the stuff is that comes out, honestly, their tutorials have been terrible. Like, truly terrible. Like, generally, as a rule, they're filmed in what looks like a hotel. A lot of the time, they're less than 5 minutes. There's never live performances. Occasionally, you'll get a tutorial that's maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. But literally, it's the basic of basics. And some of the routines and some of the tricks that they bring out just aren't very good. You know, there's some stuff that they've brought out that is just absolutely terrible. And I think that the quality has deteriorated over the years as they have produced magic, and they still bring good stuff out, don't get me wrong, they still bring some good stuff out, but it's nowhere near like it was when they first started. Now, with that being said, I'm going to be looking at 4 items from N2G this week. Now, so that I don't have to repeat myself, even though I probably will, all of these items, the tutorials are terrible, there's no live performances. I think that in this day and age, a live performance should be a bare minimum. It's not a difficult thing to film a live performance. You've got the trick. You've just taught how it works. Walk out onto a street, get somebody to hold an iPhone, film a performance, and use that. If you are so confident that your trick is going to work and it's going to be good and provide value for the magic community, stand by it and go out and perform it for somebody. But you never see that happen. You never get live performances. And I'm always very suspicious of products that come out where there are no live performances. But that's a given with every single N2G trick. We have to just kind of accept that. We also have to accept that they will bring a trick out that has lots of possibilities, but they'll give you the bare minimum of information. So, you know, I bring out a lot of tricks and a lot of them have long tutorials, and I'm kind of known for that, and it's a bit of a butt of a joke. But I'd rather bring out a long tutorial and give people a ton of information than bring out something that has a lot of potential and you spend 5 minutes talking about it. But that's kind of just a thing that they do. But that being said, we're going to start off by going back to the past, and we're going to be looking at an early coin set that, to be honest, I'd never seen before. I got to see this for the first time recently. It's one of the N series, but it's an early one of the N series. It's N3. So we're going to have a look at that first. Let's have a look at N3 by N2G. Okay, so this is N3, and N3 basically you get a copper coin, you get a silver dollar, a replica silver dollar, and you get a gimmick. And what the gimmick allows you to do, the gimmick looks like a copper coin. It looks like a copper coin, but it has the same methodology built into it as a split coin that allows you to have some very interesting displays. Now, I mentioned this before. I have to mention it again for this review for a particular reason. This product has a 5-minute, 45-second tutorial. No live performances. The tutorial is, I think, 5 minutes, 45 seconds. And in that 5 minutes, 45 seconds, they go through a very basic way of doing it, but they don't speak. They don't have subtitles on the screen. It's kind of just pantomimed out, and you have to kind of figure out what they're talking about. But they go through a couple of very simple ideas of this. And when I say very simple, I mean very simple. And the gimmick that they actually go through, it's difficult to say because there's no tutorials, there's no subtitles, and there's no speaking in it either. So you kind of have to guess of what they're implying. And it looked to me like when they first start, it talks about putting sellotape on the gaff. The first minute and a half of the tutorial is about putting sellotape on the gaff, and I can't understand why. Then they show you the gaff, and it's actually different to the gaff that you receive, because the gaff you receive actually has a Chinese coin. You have the ability to make a Chinese coin appear as part of this whole thing, and that's not actually on the tutorial. So I don't know if they improved the gaff in a later edition of N3 and they didn't update the tutorial. I don't know, but the tutorial is woeful. I looked at it and kind of was like, right, I have no idea what you're trying to achieve there. I have no idea what you're trying to do. So I looked at the gaff, I played around with it for half an hour, and this is the routine that I came up with. There's a lot of stuff you can do with it. This has a lot of potential, but just like with a lot of N2G stuff, you have to kind of unlock that potential yourself, because it's not going to be spelt out to you in a tutorial. But this is a performance. I performed this to Jack of a... I've taken, because there's a kind of a crossover slightly with Nightshade in one particular aspect. So I took a couple of displays from Nightshade. I applied them to this N3 gimmick. Played around with a few concepts, and I've just put a little performance video up so you can see the sort of thing you can do with this coin set. Let's have a look at it. This is N3 by N2G. Jack, have a look at the 2 coins, check them out, make sure they're okay. Oh, by the way, this is my routine with it, because despite the trick being good, their instructions are diabolical. 2 coins. It's called the 2 coin trick. Do you know why it's called the 2 coin trick, Jack?
No, no clue.
Because it uses 2 coins. I thought you would have guessed that. So I'm going to take out the copper coin. I'm going to put it in my pocket, which leaves what over here?
Silver.
Except it's the 2 coin trick, Jack. Remember, it uses 2 coins. You've got to remember this, Jack. It's the 2 coin trick. Now, the interesting thing is this coin here is the leader coin. The silver coin is the follower. A lot of people think it's the other way around, but it's not. Which means that if I hold the copper coin here and the silver coin here, and I just take this silver coin and throw it up in the air, I can make it catch over here. Do you see the 2 coins over here?
I do.
Yeah, copper and silver, right?
Yep.
See them jump back?
What the
You missed that. Okay, look. I'm going to put the 2 coins here. There's the copper. There's the silver, right? If I reach in and I take out the silver coin, do you see the silver coin here?
Yeah.
Watch, I put it on the back of my hand and I just do that. And now it's the copper. And the reason is the copper's over there, the silver's over there, the coins are changing places. Let me do it again. I'll reach in. What do we have over here?
Silver.
We have the silver. Until I shake it, now it turns into the copper. And if the copper's over here, the silver's over here. Let's do it one final time, Jack. Let's go crazy. Over here we have the... Bronze or the copper, yeah. Over here we have the...
Silver.
No, you've got to remember, Jack, the silver's over here. Okay. If the silver's over here, what's over here, Jack? Silver's over here, what's over here?
The copper?
No, the copper's up here, Jack. The silver's over here. You've got to remember this stuff. It's very difficult to remember, I know. Look, I'll do it again. If I take, you remember I put the copper in my pocket from the beginning, and then it jumped back into the hand. If I put the silver in my pocket and then take it out invisibly and throw it up in the air, you can't see it there. It's hovering right about there. So that's the copper and the silver. But let's get rid of the silver one. We'll put it away. Now we just take the copper. Watch the copper. I'll show you on both sides. This is the copper. Do you see the copper?
Yeah.
Now watch. If I rub, do you know what happens?
Turn silver?
No, it actually turns, well, actually it does turn silver. I was expecting something else to happen there. That's cool. But if I take it and rub it again, it turns back to copper. If I take it and rub it again, it's still copper. But if I take it and rub it again, I don't even know where the Chinese one come from. That's confusing me. But if I take it and squeeze it in my hand, it turns silver. If I take that silver and I rub it again, it turns copper. But if I take the copper one, you can see it really is copper until I do this. Throw it away, and we're left with absolutely nothing.
The hell just happened?
It's N3. So there you go. That's like a nice little multi-phase routine. I kind of put that together in a half an hour or so, just to show you the sort of thing you can do with it. You can have coins jumping from one place to another. You can do like transpositions. The transposition looks really good because they see the silver, boom, then they see the copper, and you can show it both sides. So the the transposition looks really good. You can do hopping halve style routines. You can do spellbound type routines. There's an awful lot that you can do with this gimmick. It's very well made. It's built to last. And as with N2G, the quality of their stuff is actually very good, especially their coin material. The quality of their coin material is very good. This is no exception. The quality here is very, very good. The problem we have is it's not really spelt out what you're going to do with it. So it depends. If you're brand new into coin magic, right? I mean, if you're brand new and you don't really know much, this is probably not the trick to go for, because even though it's actually quite easy, and a lot of the stuff that you saw me do in that little video there you could do, it's not actually taught to you. And trying to follow the tutorial, if you're new into coin magic, trying to follow the tutorial would really kind of mess you up a little bit. I think you kind of put it to one side and just let it go in your bottom drawer. I think this is really for people that maybe have had some experience with coin magic, had some experience with gaffed coins, and they have the ability to take something, apply moves that they already know, and play around with it and kind of take it in a direction that suits their performance style and character. So I'm going to give it 89%. Realistically, it should get more. If we were basing this purely on quality, if we're basing this purely on the price point, because it's very well priced, if you were basing this purely on how the gimmick looks and what it can achieve, you'd be giving this a higher rating. But you have to take everything into context when you're doing a review, or at least in my opinion. So I have to take into consideration the tutorial, and honestly, the tutorial sucks. But even with that in mind, this is actually really good. So it gets 89%. Okay, so the next trick we're going to be looking at is LCC Pro. Now, LCC Pro is a more recent trick that's come out through N2G. And the best way to describe this is a locking nest of coins. Now, I remember way back in the day when I first got into Magic, buying every single Eddie Gibson coin gaff that I could. And I remember buying locking nests of coins where you'd have a 5p and a penny and, you know, a pound coin and 20p, and you put them into your hand and you'd just be left with a pound coin. And yeah, I loved my locking coin gimmick. Never really done much with it, to be honest. Never really used it in professional work, but obviously I've been aware of this gaff for a long time. The reason I bring up the locking nest, the locking coin gaff, is because that's basically what we have here. So you have a Bitcoin, you have a Chinese coin, you have a copper coin, you have a silver coin, and you have the ability to take these 4 coins, put them into your hand, and make them basically vanish, or make all of them vanish other than one, because everything's going to go into that Bitcoin. Now, this has actually got a longer tutorial. No live performances, but a longer tutorial. There's it's like a 15-minute tutorial. 17-minute actually, which is great. And it starts off by talking about the gaff. You get a bang ring with it, so you can open it up, and if you've never used a bang ring before, it goes through that. Again, just like with all of the N2G stuff, it's very well made. And then the first routine is the routine I'm about to perform for you in a minute, which is, because I should point out with this, you also get a regular Chinese coin, a regular silver coin, a regular copper coin. So the first routine that it teaches you is showing the 4 coins, putting them into your hand, and making all 4 coins jump into the other hand at the same time. Now, there is talking in this, which is good. Something you need to be bearing in mind, because this is like the main routine, and like I say, I'm going to do a performance of it. They even say on the tutorial, this is not an easy trick. It's kind of a weird thing, really, because a lot of the time you're buying a coin gaff to make your magic a little bit easier, and this is actually solid. You've got a classic palm 3 coins with this, 3 big coins, 3 dollar-sized coins, and you've got to have those classic palm throughout the routine. The other problem that I have with N2G, by the way, is they don't tell you how to get into a setup. When they tell you about the setup, they say, right, put 3 coins in classic palm in your right hand. Bring the coins out and put them on the put the coins on the table. But they don't tell you how to get into that position. And rarely are you able to go over to a group of people and go, hang on 1 minute. So it doesn't tell you, like, one thing I try to do when I do coin magic tutorials is, right, okay, so your starting point is you're going to take these 4 pieces and you're going to put them into a purse. Put them into a purse facing in this direction so they don't knock together. Put that in your left-hand pocket. In your right-hand pocket, you're going to put the 3 coins. Now, what you're going to do is reach into your pockets, classic palm in the right hand. This is how you're going to do that. With your left hand, you're going to remove the purse. You don't get any of that. It's just like, this is the starting point. And you don't get advice on any of the moves. It's just like, classic palm 3 coins. Okay, thanks. So again, it's not really for a beginner because a beginner would look at it and go, I'm going to do what now? Classic palm 3 coins in my right hand. Okay. But yeah, so the routine you're going to see me perform in a minute, it's actually quite difficult, but it does look good. You're going to have 3 coins, 4 coins, they're going to vanish. You're going to be doing a steal, a classic steal. But again, it's not an easy steal to do, especially with 3 coins classic bond. And you have the ability to make 4 coins jump from one hand to the other. There's a variation of that where it's basically the same thing, but they go through the table. You've got a version of where you've got like a quiver style purse, and you show it empty. You put the 4 coins into your hand, you take out the Bitcoin, you put it there, and then you tip the other 3 out of the purse. That one's actually very easy because you're not having to palm anything and you're not having to do a steal. And then they've got this this finale routine, which is quite good, but very angly and the bitch to set up, where you show 4 coins and you rub them and they all turn into Bitcoins. And you need to supply your own Bitcoins for that. Yeah, let's have a look at a performance of it. So this is kind of the main routine, the routine that they lead with.
It uses 4 coins. Jack, I've got a Bitcoin. That's what the B on it there stands for. It's a Bitcoin. It's a physical representation of a Bitcoin in any case. This is a Morgan silver dollar. You've seen those before. An old Chinese coin with symbols around the outside that means made in Taiwan. And finally, a copper coin, a old copper penny. 4 coins. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 coins.
Yep.
I want you to see that I'm not using sleight of hand. I want you to see that I take those 4 coins, I put them into my hand. And the idea is to try and make them jump from this hand to this hand all at the same time. Are you ready?
Yep.
And that would be 1. That would be 2. That would be 3. That would be 4. Which would make this nothing more than a miracle.
Well,
So there you go. Not difficult to do. It's actually quite a tough routine. That is in terms of having to do a steal and classic palm 3 coins at the same time. Again, this is not really for beginners, even though there's a routine in there which is almost self-working really. The problem is they gloss through everything. It's very difficult to follow an N2G tutorial. Honestly, if I was N2G, I'd be hiring somebody to go and do my tutorials for me. Somebody who knows how to actually present and teach magic, somebody who can actually teach it to a degree where people who buy it are happy with it. Because here's the thing, if they do that, they're going to sell more. If somebody buys one of their coin sets and they're new into coin magic and they can understand how to do it and they get to do it and they get to go out and perform it to people, then what's going to happen is they're going to buy more coin sets from N2G. If you're in a situation like this where they're buying it and you're not really following everything, because even if you can follow the tutorial, you're not getting instruction. You're getting instruction on, hey, classic palm these 3 coins, but you're not getting instruction on how to classic palm these 3 coins. So you're not getting instruction on what to do if you don't want to do a classic palm, because you could finger palm it and do a different steal. You could have the 3 coins in finger palm, put the coins here, squeeze, take out the Bitcoin and hold it over there and make the coins jump across. There's ways of doing this without what they suggested, but they're kind of half-arsing it and rushing it out. But still, it's a 17-minute tutorial, which is good for N2G. So yeah, this is LCC Pro. It's basically a locking coin set. There's a lot you can do with it. It's nice. It's well made. You get a bang ring. There obviously is going to be a reset in between performances. You're going to have to open up the gaff and put it back into place. So this isn't something that you're going to be able to do from table to table to table immediately without taking it to do a reset. And I've always found it difficult to reset in a live performance situation with a bang ring, because it's like you're in the room and everyone's eating and then you go boom, boom, boom. Oh, resetting my trick, sorry. But that's something that you want to consider. But again, I like it. I don't like it as much as N3, but I do like it. I would do it. I'm going to give it 83%. So it's 83% from me. Now we're going to go on to the next coin set. So the next one is their new Oreo coin set, and this is kind of brand new. And what this is a coin trick that's built into an Oreo cookie. And it's kind of an interesting concept. It's kind of like some of the coin magic that you see Johnny Wong doing. And it's got sort of split coin technology. But what I really like about this is it does look like an Oreo cookie. And there's lots of routines and ideas that you can do with it that will allow you to show. There's a lot of times where you're actually doing it and you can display both sides and see an Oreo cookie on both sides. But in essence, you can do a production routine, you can do a wild coin routine, you can do a vanish, and it's all based around cookies. And they really do look like cookies. Some of the cookie routines that you see released to the magic community, they don't look like cookies. They look like nothing on God's green earth. These do look like Oreo cookies. Now, I'm not going to say much about the project just yet. We're going to have a look at a performance. This is something that I put together myself, and I tried to put together a presentation that would make logical sense of this. So you're about to see that. Let's have a look at it, and then we'll talk about what we think.
This is a story, Jack, about when I was a kid. When I was a kid. And obviously I've always had magical powers. ever since I was born. I came out of my mum's womb waving a magic wand. So because of that, no, I did. Stop laughing, it's true. So I've always had magical powers. I think I got hit in the head by a fairy when I was a kid or something. Yeah. So I've always had magical powers. And one thing that I remember very vividly when I was young, like 3 or 4 years old, is my mom and dad had a cookie jar in the kitchen, and I used to climb up on the chair and try and steal the cookies, but I was never tall enough to get hold of them. And even when I got bigger, they just moved the cookie jar. It really annoyed me. But obviously, don't forget, I came out of my mum's womb with magical powers. So what I used to do is I used to reach over to the cookie jar, grab a piece of nothing, and really believe I could make a cookie appear, and then I'd be able to make a cookie appear, because that's how that's my superpower that I had as a kid. I would be able to reach to the cookie jar, really imagine that I'd have a cookie, and I'd be able to make a cookie appear. Yeah, it's an Oreo, but don't worry, it doesn't really matter which one. It's a visual representation of what happened when I was a child. I would reach, believe that I can make a cookie appear, and then I would actually make a cookie appear. Quite cool, really, when you think about it. Now, I was disgusting as a kid as well, and here's what I used to do, and it used to drive my mum and dad nuts. I would take the cookie, and what I would do is I would lick it, and I'd just lick the chocolate off.
What the hell?
That is what I would do. I would take the cookies out the jar. I mean, I was disgusting as a kid. I would go, I'd lick it, I'd lick the chocolate off the, and my mum would get mad because she'd be, look,
Understandably so.
yeah, she'd walk back in and she'd be like, why have you licked the chocolate off? And I'd get in trouble. So what I would do, I realised this, and if I saw my mum coming in as I was in mid-cookie lick, what I would do, I would take a cookie and I would just shake it, and I'd get the chocolate back on, you see. That would be my plan to get out of trouble. But one day, my mum caught me. She caught me, and I hadn't managed to put the chocolate back on this cookie. I thought I'm going to be in big trouble. So what I did is, just before she noticed, just before she looked round, she's like, what have you got in your hand, sir? And I was like, nothing. She's like, no, what have you got in the sand? I was like, nothing, because don't forget, I was born with magical powers. So I just made the cookie disappear. And she was like, but hang on a second, what's in your other hand, son? I see there's something in your other hand. And she could tell that there was something in the hand. She didn't know what. I was like, there's nothing in the other hand. There's nothing in the other hand. She was like, yes, there is. Show me your hand. Open your hand. Open my hand. There was nothing. Because don't forget, I've got magical powers. And the moral of this story is, if you're going to get in trouble with your mom, make sure you can do magic, because if you can, you're never going to get in trouble. That's a little glimpse into my childhood. It's a true story. You're welcome.
So there you go. If you've ever had a burning desire to make cookies appear, lick the chocolates off them, make the chocolate come back and then vanish them, this is the trick for you. Now, Ryland saw me playing around with this and immediately wanted this. Any type of magic that involves food, Ryland is down with in a heartbeat. If it's food, he's there. So, you know, this is, and that kind of said to me, this has got the kid factor. You know, I reviewed a cookie routine recently. It was cookie in, it was the Time and Ben's cookie in bottle. It was a folding cookie. And I made the point that a lot of cookie-themed magic will work really well in a kid show environment or a family show environment, and it will. This is no exception. I could see you doing a whole routine where you're talking to the kids and you're making the cookies appear. You could combine it with a miser's dream and licking the chocolate off and that sort of stuff. I could see this playing really well. This is also the sort of thing that you could do in a family restaurant. And again, kids would really get into it. It's basically allowing you to do coin magic with cookies. It's a really good idea. Really good idea. And they've spent a lot of time and effort on this to make it look just like a cookie. Can't stress that enough. You basically have a, you know, it's a little bit like a split focus. If you know a split focus where you've got a split coin and then you've got half a split coin on the side, it's like that, but where the Teflon coating would be on the inside, you've got licked out Oreo cookie, and on the outside, they've spent a lot of time and effort making it look textured to the point it really does look like an Oreo cookie. The tutorial is terrible, you know, at this point, what do you expect? But no live performances, terrible tutorial. But the prop is made really well. And if anybody's got any experience with split coin type routines, this is something that I think you could get an awful lot from. And if you're a family entertainer and you're looking for something very, very different that's going to grab the attention of everybody in the audience, adults and kids, this is it. Because I've always, you know, regarding kids shows, I've always had that belief that when you go and do a kids show, you should do the magic to impress the adults, because the adults are going to be the one booking you in the future. And if you do the magic to impress the adults, the kids will fall in line. And this is stuff that will impress the adults, but the kids will love as well. It's relatable. It's got an interesting hook. You can tell a really nice story around it. I like it. I'm going to give it 98%. This is my favourite one. It's not going to get 100, not unless they start putting tutorials together with live performances and substance. I'm always going to deduct some marks, but this is really good. I very much like this. This is one of the best N2G tricks that I've seen come out in a long time. So there you go. Okay, so the final routine today, the very last routine, the final routine, the last routine we're going to be looking at is the CS coin set. And this is a replica piece dollar set. Now, if you don't know what a piece dollar is, a lot of coin magicians use piece dollars. They're beautiful coins in which to perform magic with. And piece dollars look beautiful. They look fantastic. And what this is these are replica piece dollars, but they look just like real piece dollars. You also get a shell with it as well, an expanded shell that will fit over all of the coins. And you get a tutorial which goes through a couple of routines. Absolutely wonderful, great, whatever. It's typical N2G. We don't need to go there. I think we've gilded a lily and laboured the point enough at this point. But the actual coin set is great. If you're looking for, and I get this question an awful lot, hey, I want to get a coin set. I want to get a really nice dollar-sized coin set. What should I get? If you're on a budget, this is awesome. I mean, obviously, Roy Cooper's is fantastic and Jamie Schoolcraft is fantastic. But if you're on more of a budget, this is really good. Yes, it's replica piece dollars. Yes, it's not real coins, but they look amazing. And the shell coverage is good. It's about 3/4, just slightly more than 3/4 down. If you're not into coin magic and you don't know what I mean by that, when you have an expanded shell over a coin, the further the shell goes down and therefore covers the side of the coin, the better, because then the better displays that you have with it. The displays with this coin and this shell are very good. Yeah, so I'm going to perform a couple of routines. I'm just going to do a coins across of mine and Shadow Coins by David Roth. I'm going to show you a couple of, I'm just going to put basically the point of me doing this is not to say, hey, this is on the project, because it's not. This is just to say, hey, you can use these coins. I'm putting the coins and the shell through its paces, doing a couple of routines that require a few different things to happen with shells. So you're going to have to unnest them, nest them in real time, do hang ping chens out the shell. It's the best way. Doing a couple of routines like this is the best way to test to see how this shell operates in a real world condition. So let's have a look at a couple of routines with the shell set, and then we'll bring it back and give it a rating.
Jack, I've got 4 coins here. Do you want to have a look at them? Check them out, make sure they're okay. No wires, no magnets, no trapdoors, no secret compartments.
Good.
Are they good? So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4. 4 coins. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. So this is the idea. The idea is to make these coins jump, pass, travel invisibly from one place to another by magic. So the 4 coins are going to jump from one hand to the other. Do you see the 4 coins?
Yeah.
Watch, this hand makes a fist. I take the 4 coins, I pick them up, I squeeze, I concentrate, and that's the first coin jumped into the other hand.
Look at that.
Well, I just sent it across by magic. I'll do it again for you. The first one, you didn't see it go across, but if I put this one here, you'll know the second that the next one arrives. Because if I just concentrate, that's number 2. 2 over here, 2 over here. So we've got 2 in this hand, we've got 2 in this hand, 2 have gone, 2 remain. Watch these 2, they go over here, these 2 go over here. Don't worry about this one, watch this one. That's number 3. The last one's the hardest one. Do me a favour, hold your hand out for me. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. This one makes 4. Do you want this one to go the easy way or the hard way?
Easy.
Oh, easy way looks like that. It's not very impressive. We'll do it the hard way. I'll take 1, you squeeze the other 3, turn your hand over. Watch this final coin. It's going to go from here to here. 1, 2, 3. Have a look, open up your hand. It's a miracle of modern technology. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, that's pretty impressive, but Craig didn't, you know, I picked up the coins. They were in my hands. So I'll do it one more time. But this time, I'll show you the 4 coins on the table. I'll show you my hands are empty. And I'll try and make them jump around. Watch, I'll just wave my hands over. I'll cast a shadow like that. I'll cast a shadow like that. Every time I cast a shadow, the coins jump. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4 coins.
Wow.
There you go. There's nothing else to say. It's a nice coin set. Like I said, if you're looking for a dollar-sized coin set and you're on a bit of a budget, this is the coin set to go for. It looks like real peace dollars. I don't think anybody outside of a magician or a coin collector would know that these aren't real peace dollars. They look good. They feel good. The shell nests and unnests really nicely. And you've got a little tutorial as well. It's great. I'm going to give this 90%. And if you are looking for a shell set in dollar-sized coins, I would recommend this. So there you go, guys. That's another review in the bag. Thank you once again for joining me right here on Magic TV. Another review show special done and dusted. Now, do me a favour. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. That's very important. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And most importantly, go back and check some of the other stuff we put out this weekend. Go check out the Q&A. Go check out the Talk Magic interview. Go check out all of that because we put a lot of time and effort into working on the content, and we really hope that you guys enjoy it. So yeah, go check it all out. And if you haven't already done so, go check out my streaming service. I have an online streaming platform for magicians. It's called the Netrix. The URL is www.thenetrix.com. You can go check that out and see what all the fuss is about. But regardless, thank you so much for joining me on this weekend. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you again soon. My name's Craig from Magic TV.